Hey everybody, welcome back to Lara Trump, Wanted for Questioning. Can't wait to see the questions we got today. You guys have been sending some good ones in. I'll answer anything. You send them my way and I will do my best to answer whatever it is. So let's go today. Let's see what you got. Question number 1. What's your favorite TV show right now? Ooh, you know what? I really have a hard time watching something like a show or anything that's longer than like an hour and a half, only because sometimes my husband is around to watch with me and sometimes he's not. And married couples or couples who live together understand what this is about. The second I start watching a show and then Eric hasn't caught up on it, then he comes in and he's like, I don't know what's going on here. What is this dumb show? And I'm like, oh, this is terrible. I'll tell you what I did start watching. Only because several people, one of whom I really appreciate this person's opinion, told me to start watching, and I'm sure you know who you are and you'll be glad to hear it. I started watching Veep. And I'm on like the 3rd episode of the 1st season, and having had a front row seat to the things that go on in the United States government and the circle of people who typically surround some of the upper echelon of our government and the players there, it's really something. And it is, I'm going to say it's frighteningly similar to some of the crazy people that I have met in Washington, D.C. And it's probably one of the reasons I don't like going to Washington, D.C. very much. But Veep, I think it's a funny show. I like how they did everything there. And they really must have studied some of the folks that live there in the swamp because they got it spot on. So I'm watching that right now. But I feel like I generally like the Jeffrey Dahmer series. I don't know what that says about me. I like true stories and I like things that are nonfiction. If I'm reading a book, I really want a nonfiction book. Typically, I generally don't do like novels or anything like that. And in much the same way, I like I'm going to spend my time watching something for it to be based in reality. I watched that Blue Zone diet documentary. It's like 3 or maybe 4-part series not too long ago. And it talked about the places around the world with the most octogenarians or maybe it was centenarians. Maybe people who reach 100 years old who, it had a plethora of them in their society and why they got that old and what was it that was happening in that part of the world that led them to be able to get that old. So I'm trying to get on board with that. I'm trying to get to at least 100. I don't know. A lot of Democrats out there are going to be happy to hear that about me. Okay. Next question. If you entered a pie throwing contest, what kind of pie would you bake and whose face would you throw it at? Well, we ended in a preposition there. It would be at whose face would you throw it? Well, my favorite kind of pie, although I don't know that I'd want to throw it if I made my favorite kind of pie, peanut butter pie. Anyone who knows me knows I'm going peanut butter. It's the best of the best. And if you put a peanut butter pie, maybe with like a chocolate drizzle in front of me, game over. If you did like a sort of like a chocolate cookie crust, forget it. I'm there all day. I'm really going to go in hard on that. Whose face? Oh my gosh. I don't know. This is getting kind of deep. There are a couple of people who come to mind. I don't want anybody to get upset with me out there. It would be really easy for me to go with like Joe Biden or like one of these people. But to be honest, if I threw a pie at Joe Biden's face, he probably wouldn't know what happened to him. He'd probably just think he was eating dessert. So I don't think that's a very fair thing to do to him. So I'm going to keep that one close to the vest. At whose face I would throw it. Because I have a lot of friends and I really don't. There aren't a lot of people who I disagree with on a regular basis, but there are a handful out there every now and again who maybe rub me the wrong way. But we'll spare Joe Biden from this one because bless his heart, he doesn't need any more of that. He would probably just think it was a delicious dessert. Okay, next question. Would your father-in-law take the beagles for a ride on his golf cart? I guess we're talking about my dogs. One of my dogs is a beagle, Charlie. If you follow me on any social media platform, you'll notice Charlie gets into a lot. He's 13 years old. He is quite the character. He is notorious for escaping our house, going on a hunt for some sort of like old moldy food that maybe somebody threw away a long time ago and didn't fully make it in a trash can, and he could smell it like 2 miles away. So he likes to go out on his own adventures. And then I have Ben, who is a hound mix. He's a little bit bigger than Charlie. And then we got Tiger, who is a miniature Yorkie. So I assume we're talking about all of them. And yeah, by the way, he's invited me with the dogs to follow him around on the golf course. And he actually has had us in his golf cart before, me and the dogs included. So he took me along with him. Just them by themselves, I don't know. You know, he's not a traditional, typical kind of like dog person. But here's what I'll say about my father-in-law. People don't know this about him. Whenever my husband was younger, they had 2 dogs, Choppy and Dodo. And Choppy and Dodo were, I think one was a poodle and one was a Yorkie, if I remember correctly, the story. And apparently my father-in-law really fell hard for these dogs and really loved them and was absolutely devastated when they passed away. So anyone out there who tries to say like, oh, Donald Trump doesn't like dogs, I think it's actually the opposite. I think he loves dogs so much that perhaps he can't let himself get that attached to one right now because he's got stuff to do. He's got a country to save. He's got a world to bring back around. So you know what? He doesn't really maybe have the full time he wants to dedicate, but at the end of his second term in office, I'm going to predict that my father-in-law will get a dog and he'll fall head over heels all over again. And until that time, my dogs are available. They're available for the golf cart rides or whatever else, flights on Air Force One, which we'll get a new Air Force One December of 2024, just in time for Donald Trump to be able to use it for his second term in office. So love it. Love all of it. Okay. Next question. Oh. Are free weights at home enough to change body composition? And how often should you strength versus do cardio per week? Well, for me, look, yeah. By the way, here's a quote from my dad, Bob Unaska. You can get a great workout in a closet. And I'm not even kidding. He used to tell me this all the time when I'd be like, oh, we're going somewhere. They don't have a gym. I don't know what I'm going to do. He'd be like, hey, you can get a great workout in a closet. That is true. So yeah, you can use free weights at home. But you have to make sure that whatever you're doing, it's got to burn. If you're able to just keep pumping them out, you need a bit heavier of weights, right? So whatever it is you're doing, make sure you're challenging yourself when you're doing it. For me, I strength train 2 days a week typically, and then I'm doing cardio probably 3 days a week, just cardio. I do like Pilates or I do CrossFit, kind of interspersed in between there as well. But yeah, you can strength train at home. You could get a workout in a closet if you wanted to. Throw some push-ups in there. Get yourself one of those pull-up bars that go in the doorway. And honestly, that's really all you need. I promise you, if you do this the right way, you will be sore. You will see results. But yeah, you can absolutely do them at home. So for me, twice a week strength training, average around 3 days a week of just cardio training. And sometimes like if you do a little strength training, maybe I just do some upper body. I'll go do like a bike ride or something later. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You can put them all together in the same day if you got time for it. So yeah, I would advise you to get on that schedule. Let me know how it goes. Report back. Okay. What does it take for you? Oh, to go away forever. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's probably not in the cards. Here's the thing. We've got a lot of work to do. Joe Biden and the Democrats have really taken America and quite frankly, the entire world to a really horrible place. So anybody who voted for this guy, anybody who voted for these lunatics who are just running our country and our world into the ground, we got to counteract all the crazy stuff that you guys did that got us to this point. We got a border we got to close down. We've got to get our footing back on the world stage. We've got to become energy independent again. We got to have a leader who is respected around the world, who can stand up to all these crazy lunatics who want to cause harm, not just here in America, but around the world. They see now's the window of opportunity. Now's when you go in and you try to take Ukraine. Now's when you go in and slaughter a bunch of people in Israel and try and kill just all the Jews in Israel. Then now's the time to do it, because you got a guy, Joe Biden, who's not going to do a single thing about it. So we've got a lot of work to do. We have a year and about 2 weeks until the 2024 election. So I'm not going away. I'm here, I'm staying, and I'm really going to be working very hard to make sure that you, sir or ma'am, one day look back and you're like, oh, maybe the fact that we voted for somebody solely based on emotion and not on any facts or truth of any matter, maybe that was a bad idea. And you know what? You won't have to come say thank you to me, because I'll just know it deep in my heart that you're very grateful that there were people out there willing to stand up and save America. So I'll go ahead and say, you're welcome. Okay, next question. What are your favorite foods for the holidays? I mean, I'm going to go, this is the first thing that comes to my mind is stuffing. I love it. I just want a boxed stuffing mix. I know there's so many good ones out there. There's some gourmet, you mix a little sausage in and you could, do a cornbread stuffing. I want the stovetop in a box stuffing mix. It's what my mom has made for every single Thanksgiving and Christmas my entire life. Absolutely love it. It is a staple in our house. And anytime anybody tries to get fancy, and my husband will agree with me on this, and we mix it up and you try to do a different version of it, maybe do like a biscuit version. No. That's what I want, and that's what I'm here for. And I love the desserts. I'm pretty famous around my house in North Carolina, all my cousins, aunts and uncles, everyone who comes over to my parents' house for Christmas, which is pretty much the tradition, for my chocolate peppermint trifle. Now, I got this recipe from Martha Stewart. So shout out to Martha. Thank you for the recipe. It's been a hit in my family for, I'm going to say like 10 years now. And there was one year that our flight got delayed and I didn't get in time to make it, because you got to prep this thing like 24 hours in advance. You got to soak certain things, and it's a whole fiasco. You make a mousse and you make a pudding and this, that, and the other, and they got to all have separate components that take time to make and they have to rest. I didn't get in time to make this, and Christmas was bad. Christmas was not good. Everybody came over and they're like, where's Lara's chocolate dessert? What happened? Where is it? I got a lot of heat that Christmas for not making that dessert. So I like that one too, because it's now my staple. And my Uncle Leon, God rest his soul, he's no longer with us. Every time I make it, I think of him because he was such a fan of it. So Leon, I will be making it for you every Christmas from now on. It is my honor, it is my pleasure, and it is the only dessert that has nothing left in the bowl at the end of the night. So we get to actually wash that dish, and it's not about a transfer situation when we're doing cleanup. So those are my faves. Those are the two. All right, that's going to do it for us here at Lara Trump Wanted for questioning. Good questions. Again, we were kind of all over the place with different things. We had some workout. We had some cooking questions. We had a kind of a nasty question, but it wasn't nasty enough. You can do better than that. Make sure you post under this episode more questions. Any of our social media channels, you can post some questions. And until next time, we'll see you back here for Lara Trump Wanted for questioning. Nothing is worse than being on a phone call that drops. Nothing is worse than trying to text someone and you can't reach them because your phone is out of service range. And nothing is worse than supporting these major corporations and companies who don't support us. That is why I love Patriot Mobile. They are America's only Christian conservative wireless network. They use every cell tower out there available to all networks so that they have the greatest 4G and 5G coverage nationwide, and they support the causes that are important to us as conservatives. If you go today to patriotmobile.com/Lara Trump and use the promo code Trump, you will get free activation today. Again, that is patriotmobile.com/Lara Trump. The promo code is Trump for free activation so that you can get a great cell plan and feel good about doing it. So I'm like a lot of people. I love to wear an Apple Watch, but I hate how it looks. And I scoured the internet to search for the best looking Apple Watch cases I could find, and I found it. goldandcherry.com. They have absolutely absolutely beautiful watches, as you can see here. Everything is waterproof. Everything looks good with different outfits. You can get sporty, you can get fancy, but they are great quality, made out of Delaware in the United States of America. And they have been kind enough to give me a promo code that I can share with you if you want to get your hands on one of these as well. It's Lara T, L-A-R-A-T is the promo code to get yourself a discount at goldandcherry.com. And not only do they make Apple Watch cases, they also make great products for iPads and iPhones, keyboards, your desktop, everything you could possibly need. Goldandcherry.com. Use promo code LARAT so you can get yourself one of these today too. At The Right View, we're very proud of the fact that we are independent. We get to say everything that we think and everything that we feel. We have no woke companies guiding us or telling us what we can and cannot say. We are always going to shoot you straight and give you the facts as we know them. And that's why it's important to support independent outlets like The Right View. My name is Lara Trump, and I think Mike Lindell is a patriot. He is someone who loves this country, is willing to fight for this country. I love MyPillow because not only are MyPillows made in the USA by American workers, but they're great products, and they're so great that not only do I use them in my own bed at night, my children actually requested. My daughter the other day went to the closet and pulled out a MyPillow and said, "This is the pillow that I want to sleep with." And I gotta tell you, she loves it and will have nothing to do with any other pillow. So it's a big hit around our house. My dogs also happen to sleep on MyPillow dog beds. So all around the Trump household, we're big fans. If you go to mypillow.com today and use promo code Trump, again, promo code Trump, you will not only save money, but you will help us continue this show and other shows like it and help us continue the fight for the future of America. Inflation has impacted all of our lives. I don't think anyone can go to the gas pump or the grocery store without noticing that it is a major factor. And unfortunately, it's not going anywhere. It doesn't seem like it's going down in the way that we would like it to. And one way to protect your money is by investing in precious metals, gold and silver. That's always been a great way to make sure that you keep your money and you keep it safe. When you go to bh-pm.com, use promo code Trump. That way, if you decide you want to invest in gold and silver, you'll save yourself a little bit of money. We live in a time that's very interesting. A lot of us out there feel like a lot of our rights are slipping away. And if you're like I am and you want to have the right to choose whether or not to have a vaccine, how to live your life freely, and you're looking for a great doctor, I've heard amazing things about Dr. Sherwood. He's somebody who you should really check out and check into, and it'll help support this program and keep us going. So go to sherwood.tv and use promo code Trump. Again, sherwood.tv and use promo code Trump. You can save yourself some money and help us keep our program going.